This is Hammer Down to Die. I'm Sledge. Come take a journey with me as we extract honey.
On this journey, we pull an all-nighter to go to Shreveport, Louisiana. Go ahead and hit that like button. You know me, I had to stop and get a little workout and get the heart rate up. And then the worst thing that could happen actually happened.
Out here having a little bit more fun than we should be having. Broke down in the middle of the night. Misfiring plug. Yeah, we slept in the car and we're changing plugs this morning. Then we're going to extract some honey.
After changing the plugs, the problem still wasn't fixed. So we called Pops to come pick us up.
Today, I'm gonna move some hives. Take them from our little satellite place here and move them out by the river to make some honey. Load them up here first thing in the morning. We're gonna go rob some hives too. Exact opposite place that you want some hives. All the shade, you already got hive beetles coming out. Little hive beetles, see these little hive beetles here? See them? Because this place has shade right here. So we're gonna take these bees and put them out in the full sun. Keep them from getting little critters like that in them.
Once we had arrived, there was a lot more work than what we had planned, but we were prepared.
Rough sounding one. So I know you're like, huh, this guy messes with bees? Or maybe you're like, damn, he's still messing with bees? But yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd dork, or a dorky nerd, right? Been messing with bees for a long time. Still doing it. We made this trip over here, extract some honey. Piece one, if you're looking, it's happening, brother. Oh, you're getting some honey going on, brother. That's what we doing. Yeah, I've been messing with bees for like over 10 years now. The guy that bought me my first hive. Not everybody knows him, but everybody knows him. Well, I would say. It's Terry Bradshaw's dad, which is Bill Bradshaw. Yeah, believe it or not, he bought me my first hive. And we're still going after 10 years, man. So, yeah, this one should have been bottom supered. So you're supposed to take this and put up underneath this one. The way they draw this one out first. Well, there's nothing in this one either. But there's a reason for this. So come here. Check this out. You got all these frames right here, but there's nothing on them. So if you're gonna take and put empty frames in here, you're supposed to have 4 in the middle right here, 2 on the outside, and then 2 frames like this can slide in here, and then they'll draw out these 2 right here. But you can't have all these frames in here that are empty, basically, and them still want to draw it out. So it's a little, I haven't been beekeeping this year at all, but for whoever has been, that's a lesson learned. And this is kind of like, they're not going to really do anything with it. So we're going to take this box and get some drawn comb for it, and we'll leave the other one. Yeah, they've actually started working on this one a little bit. Is what it is. Well, we thought we were robbing some honey from this one, but yeah, that's a wrap on this hive, and we're gonna feed it. and wrap it back up. And then we're going to proceed back to the back, try and get some honey from those. Found my co-host for today. He's babysitting our beehive. This is another like big screw up, if you can see. All right, you got these foundations right here, and you got to count them. You see, you got these frame spacers in here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 frames of nothing but foundation here. The bees are like, what do I do? What they're going to end up doing is drawing comb out in between these frames. This is not going to work. So now it makes me want to go through that one and this one, because this cannot happen. Moved these hives this morning. Didn't have the migratory lids to feed that one. If you're really going to get into beekeeping, know what you're doing and why you're doing it before you do it. If you don't know what you're doing, watch some YouTube videos on it. Really do some in-depth research. Don't just hop off into it and think you're going to teach the bees something and make them do something. They're going to do what they're going to do, but it's your job to
know what they're gonna do before they do it. It was so hot that our camera overheated, so I recorded this road trip so I could give a later talking to it. When I was quite a bit younger, I was incarcerated for a probation violation over marijuana. Upon my departure, I tried my hand in the big city, and I had no luck. So it was back to building high-dollar custom homes with my father. That's where I ran into Bill Bradshaw. We built this home within a few hundred yards of where we lived. There was a massive garden in his backyard. Half of it went to his new home and half of it came to my backyard. These bees were rather aggressive, and in the supposed region of the future I-69 corridor, which I doubt ever gets accomplished unless you have someone like me running for politics or governor, president, what have you. We would later move them.
As you can see, we're doing the same thing. This is something a beekeeper should know better than to do. You got some drawn out comb here, which is this empty frame should be here, and you should have 4 frames of drawn out comb and then an empty one. But now you got empty, empty, drawn, empty, empty, drawn, empty, and the bees, they don't know what to do. So this is what you're dealing with. You get bees that are drawing comb out away from the hive instead of drawing it out onto the frame. That's a little bit of why
You should know what they're gonna do before they do it. Back to the story about the garden. Half of his garden went to his new home and half of it came to my backyard, where me and him grew a bond. He talked me into getting into beekeeping in order to pollinate his 86 tomato plants. Me not knowing that the honeybees could not pollinate the tomato plants, later found out that the fragrance of the honey attracted the pollinators that could. So he would arrive around 10 o'clock to work on the garden with Mr. Smalley Mack. And me, Smalley, and my father would work on it until dark. Mr. Smalley passed the day that I left for Yellowstone 1923. Upon my departure from my incarceration, I had no friends left from high school and college, but all the old-timers wanted a good buddy. So I learned a many a things from a many a old men about beekeeping, a ton of other things, and the way things used to be.
Yeah.
ran into the same problem again. As you can see, you got your honey super here. 8 frames, and you got your brood chamber on the bottom. And what somebody did was take and put a bunch of frames, just empty frames, up here in the top box and expect them to draw out the comb on the 8 frames. You can never ever let them draw out and put your frame spacers in there until you have let them draw it out as a 10 frame super first. So if you want to do that, the correct way is to have some drawn out comb. You take these 2 blank ones, you move them into this second chamber there, and then you take your fresh drawn out comb and put in the middle here and on the sides. And what that does, this is actually the wrong time of year. You should do this in the springtime. Maybe with the amount of blooms around here, it can happen. You're supposed to have 6. They've already started drawing out on these 2 right here. So hopefully they'll get the sense. You see how the hive is tilted back? You always want to, this is actually goes in the front, but it already has one up there. You stick a wood and you place back here underneath your hive so it tilts forward. It's always got to tilt forward when you're dealing with solid bottom boards because of the fact that water gets in your hive. Well, it creates mildew, which creates a disease called nosema, and then you got to treat your bees for nosema. That's another tip. Always tilt your hive forward. Go. They're good. This is the Poor Folk edition, how we filter the honey as it comes out. You can see. There it goes. Slower speed, you want to go a longer time. Catch back up with this here in a little bit. Yeah, piece 1, it's happening, brother. We got that honey going on, man. Your favorite stuff is coming to life. Oh, Mr. Bradshaw will be happy. I wonder if Miss Novice would want some. I don't have her number, but she's probably on the internet somewhere. Novice, just reach out if you want some honey. I got you, babe. It, Big Daddy. Piece 1.
actually. I took that from him. I eat that stuff all the time.
Really?
It is
That's
phenomenal.
my honey, bro.
Dude, that stuff is amazing. I just used it this week, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That stuff is so damn good.
Yeah.
How do you do that honey?
It's just from my bees back in Louisiana.
It's phenomenal. That's some of the best honey I've ever had. No lie, that is some of the best honey I've ever had.
That's a big compliment, brother.
No, dude, it is. I'm not bullshitting. It's unreal.
AD say the same thing?
Yeah, you love it. I'm like a big.
This one's for you, big dog. Let me know if you like it or not. Good, good.
See, you can see that. That's good honey right there. All the hives are back in the back. So when I get through with all the boxes, I like to bring them out here and let them get the cleaning on them. And as you can see, they're cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. When we're not dealing with a lot of honey, like this is a very small batch compared to what I'm used to dealing with when I'm actually here. What I like to do is let them clean on it. I like to sling it for like over an hour most times. Them little girls are on top of my head. You just gotta be calm. Something strange that I like to do with this honey is clean my face with it. Weird, but it is a cleaning agent, especially when it's everywhere. Little trick of the trade. It's a beauty agent, right in probably about 25 gallons.
After cleaning up, it was time to go move those hives.
We are out of here. These sun guns right here are mean, so yeah, we got ate up, man. So then we'll cut this off. We are out of here. That's it.
The next morning, it was time to change out some equipment. Found out these bees were honey-ridden, and it was time to give them some empty comb and a fresh frame of brood to give them a fresh start. The full sun helped calm them down as well. The next morning, we embarked on another journey to go get a vehicle. All the way to my first big city, Houston, Texas. And then before we left, we caught a swarm.
So we had a little bit of a shindig this morning with the swarm. They didn't take to the box. I think it was a little too hot out there. They came over here to this tree. We're gonna take this limb and we're gonna shake them off in here, but not before we go get a fresh frame of brood. That way they're more likely to take to the box. They're a little bit small of a swarm, but we're gonna try and give them a little bit of a jump start by giving them a fresh frame of brood and really kick-starting them for the. So I'm gonna throw a suit on. We got our lemongrass here. Place it right here at the front door. Always gotta have that lemongrass. We got our fresh frame of brood right here. Fresh frame of brood. Give them a reason to go in, call it home, hang out with these babies. Here we go. Yeah, get a good shot of this. Shake them off in here now. Perfect little shake. We got our ladder here in place. Always got to have no foundation. The table is basically to walk them back over here. This is to get them back up where they're used to being. So we'll come out here and walk them over there eventually once they take to that.
Then it was nap time before we pulled the all-nighter. And then a gorgeous sunrise over Birmingham. And then we passed by a lot of fans' favorite NASCAR track. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Home sweet home Atlanta.